Very good morning, students. We have already completed so far in operations research 3 chapters. First one, replacement theory. Second one, transportation problems. And the last chapter we had discussed was linear programming problem. Let's give a pause to operations research for time being. The result of pausing the last few topics of the syllabus of operations research, we would be realizing after few days. Let's start with a new chapter, time series, which is the third chapter in your syllabus. Last year you have studied in first PUC classification and tabulation of statistical data. Under that, you have come across qualitative classification, quantitative classification, geographical or spatial classification, and at the end, chronological or temporal classification. This chapter, time series, is relating exactly to the chronological classification or temporal classification of statistical data and its further analysis. Totally, how the data which is classified based on time factors would be studied and analyzed, we would come across in this particular chapter. Then let's see what exactly is meant by time series. As name itself tells, time series. It is series of data based on time or in accordance with the time mentioned, roughly to be spoken. Let's concentrate on the definition of time series. A series of observations of a phenomenon recorded at successive points of time is called as time series. It's a series of observations of what? Of a particular phenomenon. That phenomenon may be imports, exports, production, price, or whatsoever. But it should be recorded at successive points of time. That means in time intervals, the phenomenon has to be recorded, then it will be called as totally time series. It's a chronological arrangement of statistical data regarding the phenomenon. In other words, to be defined. We know already chronological arrangement in the sense based on time factors. Chronological arrangement of statistical data regarding the phenomenon. The phenomenon may be anything like which I have mentioned. If an example to be given for time series data, here below at the end of this slide it's given. You can concentrate on the cursor. Here year and price rupees per quintal has been given in this data. Of a particular commodity, price rupees per quintal has been given based on these years. In the sense, in 1970, 180 rupees per quintal, 1974, 280 rupees per quintal, 1978, 260 rupees, 1982, 300 rupees, 1986, 380 rupees. In this particular fashion, based on the time factors as a year, here price rupees per quintal has been given. This entire set of data will be termed as time series. Is it not series of observations of a particular phenomenon of price rupees per quintal recorded at successive time points of years 1970, 74, 78, 82, 86, 1990, 1994 and 1998. So in total, it can be referred to as time series. Any other phenomenon for any other time intervals, like we can give examples of time series. Then let us look into the essential requirements of a time series, which is nothing but the assumptions of time series. Assumptions in the sense the concept works under the belief of all these points. As far as possible, the time gap between various values must be equal. It's required as far as possible, the time gap between the various values must be equal. We know already time series definition. In accordance with successive time intervals, phenomenon values will be considered. That successive time interval should be of equal gap as far as possible. That is what this particular statement tells. For analysis, if time gap between the values, if it is kept constant or is kept equal, it would be very good. Analysis and drawing conclusions would be easier and effective. Second one, it must consist of homogeneous set of values. For drawing proper and efficient inference or conclusions, homogeneity of the data is required in any scenario. Heterogeneity will lead to wrong and non-effective conclusion most of the times. That's why essentially we are required to consist homogeneous set of values in order to draw proper conclusion based on time series. Third, data must be available for a longer period of time. Any short period of time, anything which is observed in real world may not be believed, may not be followed most of the times. So to believe on or to understand a particular phenomenon in any ways possible, its own nature, it may be having the data either increasing kind of nature, decreasing kind of nature, fluctuations or whatsoever. The data, if it is being observed for a longer period of time, then it can be studied and analyzed properly. So we believe or we require the data to be available for a longer period of time in its own nature. In its own nature, let it be available for a longer period of time for proper analysis. That's why it's one more requirement of time series. The data must be available for a longer period of time. Then let us concentrate on uses of time series. We have already given in successive time intervals the data is being recorded. Then what would be the use of such recording data in successive interval of time? First one, it helps in planning and forecasting the business activities. In short, to be told, the time series data helps in understanding the past behavior of the data of a particular phenomenon which we have considered, how it is behaved, the data, whether it is in terms of profit or in terms of loss continuously, or sometimes profit, sometimes loss, or how exactly it is fluctuating or keeping its own nature constant. All those parameters will be we will be able to understand based on such successive interval of time recordings Basically, it is possible to understand the past behavior of the data, and possibly we can compare with present behavior of the data. With the help of past behavior and present behavior of the data, we can predict to an extent future behavior of the data also. So that once when we are able to predict future behavior of the data, we can plan and forecast the business activities in accordance with our required parameters. So we are telling that it helps in planning and forecasting the business activities. Second one, it helps in understanding past behavior and it will help in estimating the future behavior. As I've already told, majorly time series helps in three basic ways. What are those? The past behavior of the data we can understand, present behavior of the data can be studied, and future trend of the data can be predicted. Third one, comparison between data of one period with that of another period is possible. We know in all scenarios, once when we understand the data, we understand the situation, we understand the concept and a scenario, then next step starts comparison. Whether it was good than earlier or whether it is better than what we know or what we had, or can we expect betterment in future, all those kind of comparisons would be creeping up. So in such scenario, even in terms of time series data, the comparison between the data available of one period with that of another period is also becoming possible. Next, we can evaluate the progress in any field of economic activity. It has been already said, we can predict future trend of the data, and comparison also is becoming possible. Then we can certainly evaluate the progress, whether we are in progress or we are not having progress, or what is to be done exactly in order to get the progress in terms of our parameters. All such analysis would become possible once when we look at the numerical examples. We will be getting a supportive understanding for all these theoretical concepts which we are discussing, and let's wait for those numerical problems also. The utility of such analysis is, in other words, the uses of time series. We have already seen the uses of time series in the previous slide. Once again, in different way, in other words, the same concept of uses of time series or utility of such analysis, that means time series, is being said in this particular slide. Understanding the past behavior of the data or the variable is becoming possible. Knowing the existing nature of the variation, predicting the future trend. You can remember in your English grammatical sentences also, all the tenses that it is becoming possible here: past tense, present tense and future tense. In the similar way, past behavior of the data, present behavior of the data and the future behavior of the data. And then lastly, comparison with other similar variables. Look at the way it is given, comparison with other similar variables. The similar variables in the sense, whenever we have to compare there should be a homogeneity. There should be a proper yardstick while comparing. That's why it's being said comparison with other similar variables. This similar variables meaning we will be able to understand with further concepts and numerical problems. Then, if a time series data will be expressed in terms of graphical representation, what would it be called? We know already time series. It is the chronological arrangement of a statistical data, which is nothing but the values recording at successive intervals of time. If you are taking the time factors along x-axis and whatever the phenomenon values you will be considering based on those time points on y-axis, plotting the values and joining them, all the points which are plotted will give graphical representation of a time series. What would it be called is the question now. It is being called as histogram. A graphical presentation of a time series is called as histogram. While pronouncing and while writing, be careful. It's not histogram what you had studied earlier. It is histogram. The next concept, components of a time series. Look at the way how it is being given in the slide and try to understand it clearly. In a time series, the observations vary with time. Obviously, in a time series, in the sense, when we have recorded any phenomenon data based on time intervals, it varies. It cannot be expected to remain constant, the values, or to have variations in a certain expected manner. It may be sometimes variations in the similar way how we expect, and sometimes it may not. Whatever, in time series, the observation vary with time certainly. Next, the variations occurring in any period is the result of many factors. Whatever the variations we are observing in the time series, the reason may be, many more. For example, the academic example only let us consider for better understanding of this particular concept which we are speaking now. If a child has not scored properly in an examination and the teacher is asking the reasons out of it, say for example in PTM, parent teachers meeting, it is being discussed for the first time, then the parental opinion or a student opinion or the answer for having not scored well in the examination may be of these kinds. First possible way of expression is the child's behavior or the academical behavior of the child is commonly in the similar way of lower scoring since from many years. This is one of the possible way of expression I am telling you. And next, one more way of expression would be, sometimes he will score or she will score more, sometimes he or she will score very less, sometimes on an average, sometimes exceedingly well, cannot be understood the way how he or she studies and scores in the examination. This is one more possible way of answer can be expected. And one more is, this time my child was not keeping well he was under medical treatment, or he had been to a particular place on an emergency basis, or the parent was not keeping well in the home, that's why environment was not supportive for studying, that's why only this time it has happened like this, or we had a particular function at our home, a family function was there, so family members were there at home, which was not possible, to concentrate on studies, that's why only this time it had happened in this way, otherwise he or she is found to be very good at his or her studies. All these, various ways of expressions would become possible. In the similar way, any concept, any scenario you take for the matter of time series, the variations are certainly possible, and for that variation many factors are responsible. So in total, the effect of all these factors can be classified into four main categories, which are called as components of time series. The effect of these factors in the sense we had said many factors are possible for the variation occurring in time series. So the effect of these factors can be classified into four main categories, which are called as components of time series. Sometimes the definition of components of time series also may be asked. Sometimes, what are the main four categories of a components of time series also may be a question. So let us see which are those major four categories. In the example which I gave you, those categories have been already included. Let us concentrate what exactly they are. First one, trend. It may be even called as secular trend, long-term movement. Second one, seasonal variation. Third one, cyclical variation or business cycle. And the last fourth one, irregular variation, or it may be termed as random fluctuation or erratic variation. These are the four main categories of components of time series. Trend, in the sense it should be of long-term moment, many days, many months, many years. In the similar way, if the data is being found, it takes the nature of trend. The variation, if it is happening seasonally, according to the environmental changes, customs and tradition changes, or any changes seasonally, if it is being found variation in the data, then it will be termed as seasonal variation. Cyclical variation, in the sense in a cycle manner, sometimes upwards, sometimes coming to normal, sometimes going down to normal or picking up back the normality. In that way, in a cyclical manner, any variation is being observed, it will be termed as cyclical variation. In the last one, irregular variation, random fluctuation or erratic variation. As the name itself tells, irregular variation. Regularly the variation is not being found in that way, but unexpectedly, unusually, the variations have happened at time series. Then it will be termed as irregular variation. Let's study these all four very important concepts of the chapter in detail. First one, trend. It is the overall change taking place in the time series over a long period of time. The statement which is said over a long period of time has to be concentrated more and more. Any variation which is giving the hint of happening in the similar way over a long period of time will take the dimension of trend. Then, it is the change taking place in a period of many years. The same statement has been extended over a long period of time. Most of the time, series show a general tendency to increase, decrease, or to remain constant over a period of time. Such overall change occurring is the trend. Most of the time series will be showing a general tendency. When you look at the long period of time, the variations are happening in a time series will take the dimension of either being constant in its nature, or it may be constantly increasing, or it may be constantly decreasing. Such data will be called as trend. Such overall change occurring in time series will be termed as trend. Let's understand it clearly using some examples. Then it will be very very clear for us to understand this particular definition or an explanation. We have said already trend to be overall change in a time series for longer period of time. First example, steady increase in the population of India in the past many years is an upward trend. Is it not? The population of India in past many years, it's increasing either constantly or in any proportion. It is increasing, but it is found for many years in increasing way. Once when we are observing in increasing way the population of India for a longer period of time, then it can be told as a trend. Any trend, usually in common language, whenever we speak, it has become nowadays a trend, we would tell. Will we tell such statement by observing any scenario for a day or two? No. After observing for longer period of time, we would tell it to be a nowadays trend. In the similar way, it's expected for longer period of time here for any economic activities also. Second example, steady increase in the price of gold in the last many years is an upward trend. Here also to be concentrated in the last many years specification. Third example, due to availability of greater medical facilities, death rates is decreasing in the past many years. Thus, death rate shows a downward trend. As compared to previous days, the death rates are decreasing on the earth. It is because of medical development, medical facilities. For any disease, medical cure is becoming possible. That's why we are able to save the lives day by day, which is resulting in a constant decrease at death rate. So we can tell for many years when we are observing the same scenario, it to be a trend. Next component of a time series, seasonal variation. First component was trend. Next we are considering seasonal variation. As the name itself tells, it is the variation in the time series which is occurring seasonally. Let's see what exactly the definition is. The regular and periodic variation in the time series is called as seasonal variation. Regularly it will happen and periodically it will happen. According to the season which we expect for the scenario, it regularly and periodically will be happening, the variation. That's why it is being said as seasonal variation. In total, the regular and periodic variation in a time series is called as seasonal variation. Generally, the period of seasonal variation would be within 1 year. Any season within 1 year we are observing. Say for example, like the weather condition based season, rainy season, winter season or summer season, it would be occurring within 1 year. In our scenario, we expect anything to happen seasonally within a particular year. We may tell it's a season of mango fruits. Within 1 year, a particular time interval will be observed, season of mango fruits, and then in the next year again at the same time interval, in the same time interval, we would observe the mango season back. In the similar way, any season for that matter of fact, which if you consider, it will long last only 1 year. So we are telling here the period of seasonal variation would be within 1 year. Next you can concentrate the statements. The factors causing seasonal variation are weather conditions, customs, traditions and habits of the people. Weather conditions, at least just now we discussed, and customs, traditions and habits of the people also based on festival observations too. Any other will be based on our customs, traditions and habits. We tell it to be the season. In the examples to be considered in the next slide, you would come to know what are those customs, traditions and all. And lastly, it is given in the slide, seasonal variation is predictable. We can predict, if June starts, we can predict normally rain to happen. If it starts January, then we can expect suffocation of summer season. So all those are usually predictable. That's why seasonally whichever the variations are happening are normally predictable. Let's concentrate on examples of seasonal variation. First example, umbrellas are sold more in rainy season. The other seasons are also observed, selling of umbrellas, but it would be usually more observed in rainy season. That's why time series, if you take rainy season, winter season and summer season as the time factor, or else January, February till December as the time factor, and next if you record the umbrellas sold in that particular month as a number, 15, 20, 25, 30s, all those. If you record those values based on the time factors, you would come to know in rainy season, June onwards for 4 months, umbrellas will be sold more. In the sense, what I'm asking you to get convinced is We cannot say in other seasons umbrellas are not being sold, but in rainy season it is happening more. That is what is the variation we are telling. That's what is the variation in time series observed data. It is because of the rainy season. That is why we are terming it to be seasonal variation. Try to understand clearly. Next, in winter season, sale of the woolen cloths will increase. That's what again, in the similar way of first example, here the other seasons also woolen cloths may be sold, but in winter season it happens more. That more what we are telling, that is what is the variation which is happening because of the season, I mean winter season. That's why it is categorized as seasonal variation example. Next, in summer season, the sale of ice cream, cool drinks, etc. will get increased. Similar one. Fourth example, there is the custom of wearing new clothes, preparing for sweets, and buying crackers for Deepavali, Dasara, Christmas, etc. At that time, there is more demand for clothes, sweets, and crackers. This demand for more clothes, sweets, and crackers will give the variation in the time series data. For other days also, selling of clothes, sweets, and crackers would be possible, but here it has been increased because of these festive seasons. Every year, at the same interval of time, periodically, we will be getting these festivals. That's why, it is being said as season. Because of these festive season, the demand for clothes, sweet, and crackers have been increased. Then that increased, what we are telling itself is the variation which is being observed because of festive season it is. That's why again it's being found in the examples of seasonal variation. Another example, most of the students buy books and stationery in the first few months of opening of colleges. That first few months of opening colleges itself is a season. It is an academic season. In that particular few months, buying books and stationeries from the students will be observed usually more and more. Is it the case the other season, in the sense other days except the few months after starting colleges, they will not purchase notebooks or stationeries? No, nothing of that sort. They would be purchasing, but it will get increased in the months or initial months of opening of schools and colleges. Is it not to be considered as a season? So once after considering it to be a season, the variation which has happened is because of seasonal variation. Next component of time series, cyclical variation or a business cycle. Two components we have already studied. One is trend, which was observed the variation for longer period of time, and then we observed seasonal variation, which is the variation in the time series data which is happening periodically. Next, cyclical variation or a business cycle. Once when any variation which is happening, sometimes upwards, sometimes downwards, sometimes for normality, sometimes in recovery stage to normality after downward stage, or sometimes after reaching the peak level coming down to normality. All those kind of variations will be observed in a cyclical manner. That's why cyclical variation it is being called. Usually it happens in business activities. That is why it is being termed as even business cycle. Cyclical variation is an oscillatory variation. It oscillates. Cannot be said it is an increasing way or decreasing way. Sometimes it may be increasing, sometimes it may be as a normal state, or sometimes it may be decreasing. All those phases will be happening in economic activities. That's why it is being termed as oscillatory variation. So cyclical variation is an oscillatory variation which occurs in 4 stages. Which are those 4 stages? Prosperity, recession, depression, and recovery. For any normal activity or economic activity or any other scenario, when you consider, one normal stage will be present. Normality. More than normality, anything which is happening, the variation, either profit, loss, or whatsoever, compared to normality, more if it is happening, then it would be termed as prosperity phase. After having observed prosperity, an increasing phase after normality, if we are coming down to normal stage, it will be the term used recession. And after reaching normality, again down to normality, if we are going, it is to be called as depression. And whatever the stage we have already achieved, down to normality, if we start recovering to get normal stage of activity, it will be called as recovery. This we shall understand in the next slide using business cycle. A pictorial representation of business cycle can be shown and understood. These 4 stages or phases of cyclical variation. Look at further statements. Generally, such variations occur in economic and business activities. They occur in a gap of more than 1 year. Cannot be said these kind of variations in upward or downward ways to happen within 1 year. Sometimes it may be more than 1 year, or generally it is being considered as more than 1 year. Let's see with the diagram of business cycle how can we understand the 4 major stages of cyclical variation. Look at the cursor. This straight line which we are seeing is normal state of any phenomenon. Usually an economic activities will be taken as an example of cyclical variation. So this is what is normal state or normal stage. Then from this normal stage, if we start getting prospered, if we start getting more than this normal stage, for example a profit, if you consider more than a normal profit, we are getting more and more, is it not to be called as prosperity? Then after reaching a peak level of profit, it's coming down to normal stage, it will be termed as recession. Most of the times we get this word recession in our IT BT sectors. Recession is going on, that's why few employees have been given off from a company, or the work is not being observed much because of a recession period. That recession is nothing but from a peak level of profit you are coming down to normal stage. After reaching this normal stage, down to normal stage when you are coming, whatever normally you expect a profit, down to that you are observing, then it would be termed as depression. Than normality, when you are coming down, it will be called as depression. After depression, if you are getting back to normal stage, then it will be the time of recovery stage. So here, from depression, you are getting towards normality. I mean normal stage. So here, these are the four major types of cyclical variation, or major four phases of cyclical variation. It is very important question. Mention the four stages, four phases of cyclical variation in a diagrammatic representation. Many a times it has been asked for 2 marks. Either it will be asked diagrammatic representation, or else it will be asked just to mention the four phases of cyclical variation or business cycle. Examples for business cycle or a cyclical variation. First one, the oscillatory moment of BSE share index or Sensex is cyclical variation. You know already, BSE is nothing but Bombay Stock Exchange. The economic activities happening in Sensex, in the sense BSE share index is a cyclical variation. It goes sometimes up, sometimes coming to normality, sometimes lesser than normality, again recovery stage to normality. All those will happen in terms of share index. That's why it is being categorized in the example of cyclical variation. The upward and downward movement in the bank interest rate over last few years is cyclical variation. The bank interest rates also sometimes increases than normal interest rates, and again it will be coming down to normality. Sometimes it may go down to normality and recover back to normal stage. In all the four stages, bank interest rates will be observed. That's why it's being categorized under cyclical variation example. Then the last component of time series, irregular variations, which is even being said as random or erratic variation or random fluctuations. By this time we have already studied 3 components of time series. First one was trend, which was longer period of time variation. Second one was seasonal variation. Periodically, whenever you are observing the variations in the time series, that was found to be seasonal variation. And then cyclical variation we had come across. Any variation which happens in 4 stages of prosperity, recession, depression and improvement or a recovery, it will be told as cyclical variation. Then lastly we are coming across irregular variations. As the name itself tells, irregular variation, it is not being found regularly. An unexpected way, if we find any variations, it will be termed as irregular variations. Sudden unexpected variations which take place in time series are called as irregular variations. They occur as a result of unexpected happenings such as wars, famines, strikes, floods, etc. They are unpredictable. Once when you know it's happening unexpectedly, how can you predict such variations? So it is an unexpected, unpredictable variation. Generally, the effect of such variation lasts for short period of time. The effect of such variation in the sense any unexpected way of variations have happened, it's not long lasting for major or many years or many months or many days. It will not be lasting long. It would long last for shorter period of time. It will be observed for a short period of time variation, then it will happen recovery in terms of data. Let's see the examples of irregular variations. First one, an increase in the price of vegetables due to a strike by the railway employees. An increase in the price of vegetables has happened, so that variation has been observed already. Because of what the variation has been observed is nothing but component of a time series. The reason for variation. Here, the price of the vegetables have been increased because of strike by the railway employees. Because of the strike, the good, the vegetables have not been transferred properly to the people. Once when it's scarcity of vegetables in availability, then certainly we will observe more the price of theirs. That's why it has been increased the price of vegetables. After the strike is over, everything will be getting into normality. But an unexpected strike which has happened, based on that the prices of vegetables have got increased. Because an unexpected happening of strike, we categorize this particular example to be the variation of price in a random way, in an erratic way, in an unexpected way. That's why it's coming under random fluctuations or erratic variations or random variations. Next example. A decrease in the number of passengers in the city buses occurring as the result of strike by public sector employees. Here also, as it was considered in first example, the same concept, decrease in the number of passengers have happened. That is what is the variation. Because of what? Because of strike by public sector employees. An unexpected happening it is. That's why it is categorized under which component of time series? Random fluctuations. Then another example, an increase in the number of deaths due to earthquake. Earthquake also has happened unexpectedly. The variations in the number of deaths because of an unusual or unexpected happening will be considered under random fluctuations. Then, after studying four components of time series as trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation, and random fluctuations, we will be getting in detailed study of first component of time series, which is nothing but trend or secular trend. These are the four methods which has been prescribed in our syllabus of measuring a secular trend or trend. First one is graphical method, second one is semi-averages method, third one moving averages method, and the last one least squares method. These methods we shall study in next video class. So in today's video class, what all we have understood? The definition of time series, components of time series which are secular trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation, and random fluctuations with their definitions and examples of all those components. So method of measuring secular trend, as a first component we are studying in detail. This will be observed in next video class as I have mentioned. Keep studying, be in home itself, and be safe. Thank you so much.